the number one info. I'll be your host for today, Jeffrey Boahin. And then Yetuna Nama Bibini. Ladies out. So I'll be taking over for some time. If you see me from time to time, please don't get scared. Now, this to be my debut show, so we can't make it boring, right? A friend of mine approached me with quite a controversial question. I thought it would be nice for a premiere show for mine. Here's the question. You're listening. Between a realtor and a farmer, who will you give your 10 acres of land to? Okay, and Obia will sit down. Why now they wasasi ekedu per man? So please, I have two prominent gentlemen here for this discussion, right? And I'll introduce them in a minute. But before we start, please share, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, get everybody on board for this discussion. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the TIA's office. Come on in and let's embark on an exciting journey together. We are excited to develop the West African sub-region's agricultural sector with three key amazing services: the financial support, technical support, and offtake support. Join us as we showcase our diverse teams, share our values of network, and give you a sneak peek into the exciting projects we are working on. Welcome to the TIA's office. Come on in and let's embark on an exciting journey together. We are excited to develop the West African sub-region's agricultural sector with three key amazing services: the financial support, technical support, and offtake support. Join us as we showcase our diverse teams, share our values of network, and give you a sneak peek into the exciting projects we are working on.
Welcome back to the AgroHS podcast. It's your host today, Jeffrey Boahin. I mentioned the discussion we have today between a realtor and a farmer. Who will you give your 10 acres of land to? Introducing my guest, the one on my left, Mr. Kelson Richmond. He's a realtor, big time guy. His charms and his smiles has booked him a lot of deals. And fun fact, he's also a pastor, so very trustworthy. For our audience there that have businesses around that time, I'll put his links there, right? You can holler him there. Chairman, welcome.
Thank you so much, my brother. It's good to be here.
Nice. On his side too is Sir Yao Ato. He is a business advisor, seconding as a farmer. An interesting person, really interesting person. Trust me, right? Before talking to him for us to start this show, already I've decided I'll buy a farm and talk to him about it. Chairman, I agree to you. So, please, gentlemen, I'm really honored to have you on the show today. So, you are both familiar with the topic. Between a realtor and a farmer, who are you to give 10 acres of land to? Right? So, starting from you, Sir Rich.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, okay, let's start. 10 acres of land. If I give to a realtor,
Yeah.
what can I get out of it from the starters?
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of money. Depending on the location.
Okay.
So when it comes to real estate, I mean, building and selling, it's the location that matters a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I have 10 acres at, let's say, East Legon, and then 10 acres at maybe a village somewhere around Kofredra, yes, I can build the same building on both plots of lands, but the location, the East Legon one, will sell more than that place, even though it is the same building material. So when we talk about the land, the location matters so much.
Nice. Sure.
When it comes to real estate, location matters to us very, very much.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but let's say that for the most rural place, about how much profit in margin are we looking at?
Okay, for
As
most,
rural as, let's say, the Nsawem Road ish.
Sound Road. I mean, that place is not really rural because
Yeah.
it's really being developed these days.
Yeah.
So that place you can sell, you can make profit, you know, about
Just
20% of your investment.
Ooh.
Yes, 20%. That is because you just want to push it, you know.
That's
but
great.
I'm on air, so I don't want to say.
I get
Because usually buildings you can sometimes make even up to 50-60%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are people that can build with, let me say, $20,000, and then they'll be selling it like maybe $50,000.
Nice. Okay.
So that is even more than 50%
Yeah,
profit.
that's quite substantial.
Yes.
Hey, I'm making my mind go round and round and round.
Is the location is what matters a lot.
Okay.
Very yes.
Say Ato,
Yes, sir.
on your end too, 10 acres of land, right? For both for a rural and an urban place, what do you think can be done with it in terms of agriculture?
All right. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to represent the Green Army, that is the farmers. So when it comes to this topic, the first thing, as my brother said, the location of the land, the type of land we are looking at,
Yeah.
holding those conditions constant. And you look at it from a goal like this. You look at it from the three economic goals. That is from an employment view. We look at it from economic growth view, and we look at it from price stability view. Now, look at it. So, as a farmer, we are not. Who is a farmer? You even define what type of farmer are you giving your land to.
Okay.
It's not just a quantity from just a normal
definitely.
farmer. So we are giving it to a farmer who uses technology, like the Createch Africa. They are implementing technology in their farms. I hope you understand. So a farmer who adds value to whatever he or she produces. Okay, so we are looking at that farmer. We know that around Maslow, a hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
We said that the first need is what the first thing he stated was the physiological needs. That is air, food, air, water, and food.
Yeah.
Food is even mentioned before shelter.
That's true,
So
that's true,
you look at
okay.
it from that side. You look at
Hey.
it, so you always give it to
I know it. Say.
Secondly, as I said, on the employment side, looking at it, if you are somebody who thinks of the youth or employment in Ghana, the agriculture sector employs about 39% of the Ghanaian population currently, compared to the real estate, which is employing about 2.6% of the population. I hope you understand. Look at it from the economic growth perspective, that is the GDP. When we talk about GDP, the market value of all final goods and services produced in the country within a given period of time. Once the Realtor does its activity, the GDP captures it once and for all. But the farmer seasonal, within the period of time that he does his activities, the GDP will capture it. And currently, the agriculture sector or the farm, just the farming, we are talking about just a farm land of 10 acres. But when we aggregate them into units, it comes to the national level. So from micro, it becomes a macro. How can you understand?
Yeah.
So like a farmer, I just considering a farmer's money, but different farmers, they come
put it
together.
together.
When you look at it from the macro view.
Two really brings a very compelling argument.
Yes. So,
Very
Very
compelling.
compelling.
So
Okay.
should I continue?
Oh, please, you do.
Okay, so
Please.
as I said, so just last year, we saw a negative contribution from the real estate industry
Really?
from the
Then my
GDP.
first sat down.
Yes, so and it has never happened that the agri sector is contributing a negative balance to the GDP.
Wow.
You know, currently we are looking at price stability, the dollar effect that we are having, the CD depreciation. We can contribute some to the Realtor's activities. We are in
Really?
Ghana. We are selling our properties and stuff in dollars.
Yeah.
How can we appreciate, or how can the city raise its value that we want it to be?
That's
You are in Ghana, and even some of the national housing and stuff, they are selling the houses in dollars. How can we progress?
I tell
So,
you.
as I'm speaking from a farmer's point of view, I always choose the farmer.
Okay.
So the farmer
See.
has a comparative advantage compared to the rest.
The amazing thing is that
Yes.
we are talking about an individual.
So that is
So-
it. I'm not cutting you off. The
Yeah.
individual aggregation of individuals comes
Come
to what?
together to
the
make.
macro.
Okay.
My
How do you
brother,
understand?
Yeah.
what I want to put here is that
Yes.
he is trying to be a nice Ghanaian, thinking about everybody, okay?
Yeah.
But when it comes to be real with everyone here, you know, let's be reality. Nobody will sit down and think, okay, economic growth, this. He's thinking about the profit he's going to make. That is it.
Yes.
But you know, yes, he is a nice gentleman because this will contribute this. But a normal person is like, okay, this is a table, this is my land, and I come to him as a realtor and then a farmer. That he's not going to think about when will these crops grow, when will this economic growth, GDP. All he matters is when I say, okay, when you invest 20,000 within building, we can build within a year.
Yeah.
So even that, we can even build even lesser than that. So let's say a year. So we build, and within that year we sell your house. We buy, we sell the house, and we're going to make about 50, 60, 70%. And then you come in with farming. Okay, let's farm. You know, let's look at economic, all this. No Ghanaian who actually wants to think that way. He wants to make his profit.
That's true. Okay, but for realtors, let's talk about the social impact, right? The social
what I'm
impact
saying, that
this thing have in the community.
That is what I'm saying. Just few Ghanaians who like to think about social impact. Let's be truthful here.
That's true.
Alright.
I'm a pastor. I know. But if someone comes to me with such a deal, it is few people that will look at social impact. Let's be real.
Okay. So can I come in?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
you are talking from this angle that an individual point of view. I'm not thinking about anyone. Okay, so let me take it like this. You stated that with the real estate, you are able to make about 60 to 80% profit.
You can make more than that,
Alright,
or
so
even
we stated.
less. But
So
I mean,
with the
yeah.
farming as an individual,
Yeah.
all other things held constant, you should be making around 150 to 300% profit if you use the right tools and stuff. So that is the profit view. I'm looking at the moolah, the money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of money and stuff. So that is it, the profit view. You are looking at how much profit I will make. We all know that
Within space.
yes, within the
How
short
many
run.
years?
The short run.
Like
So where the factors of production, none of them changes. I'll make that money.
within a year.
So within the farming period, let me just put it like that. I will not say a year. Some of depending on the crops or what I'm cultivating or what I'm keeping. I hope you understand.
Twice
So
a year.
Let me
Yes.
also just chip in something.
Okay.
If I'm making 300%, which gives me $1,000, and I'm making a 5%, which gives me 20. Let's give it $2,000. It's not about the percentage increase. It's about the money that is coming.
Okay.
So I can make 20% profit on this,
Okay.
which will be 1,000 cities, and I can make 5% profit on this, which is maybe 30,000. So you see the difference. So you can make 300% profit on farming, which will be 1,000 cedis. I'll make just 2% profit on building and selling, which will be maybe $2,000.
Well, I'm not debating what you are saying, but you are looking at it from this an ordinary Ghanaian point of view. So we all know that with real estate or the real estate activity is capital intensive. You cannot compare the real estate activity to
with
farmer.
developing
a 10-acre this thing, it's very, very capital intensive.
Yeah.
I hope you understand. So you look at it from that angle. You see, and depending on what you, it's like FIFO, like what you put in is what you get out. Sorry for it's not FIFO.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
FIFO is first in, first out. So
yeah.
what you put in is what you get out. So when you are telling me that a Realtor, you are putting in about 10,000, and please, let's know we are all youth or we are young people coming here. There's this narrative, there's this narrative outside that our leaders are not looking at or are not considering us. Anytime I get the opportunity to speak somewhere, what we can also do to help, we should do it. So please, let's help the city. I did my research with the currency and stuff. You are mentioning dollars and stuff. Let's help the city to just gain its strength.
The funny thing is, or the amazing thing is, it's very easy to use a CD when use a dollar when you are making estimate, because maybe one bag of cement is I think 80 cedis, right? And you build somebody with that in cities. The next moment is maybe the next week is 85 cedis. You can't. Sometimes you go back to a client. Always no. You said this. So it's better you put it into dollars. So whether there is increase or decrease, you are safe.
Okay. So we are all learning here. I'm learning from you. So let me tell you this. So when you are making budget, you just give some space. How do you understand? Okay. So we can also make a budget in the cities and make provisions for that space for the change.
My brother, in real estate, that space, there's nothing. Imagine I come to you with, you want to build a single room self-contained, and I come with you that the budget is, let's say 20,000 cedis, and I explain everything, cement, sand, trip, all these things, clear budget to you, and I put miscellaneous 10,000 or 6,000. And I'm like, what is this? 6,000 kwan for miscellaneous. Why? You would like to know what will happen there. Do you get it? And that 6,000, the next month you go to buy building materials and things have changed.
Hey, the inflation these days is crazy.
So instead of 20,000 budget to build, you have to use about 30 or 40,000. When you go back to a client, I brought a budget of 20,000. Now I'm coming back with 40,000. It will be hey. So it's better we all put it. It's just changing it to dollar. We just convert it to dollar. So if it's 20,000, and then I put it into dollars, I change it to dollars. It's okay.
This is a discussion with the audience of governors and presidents. Really. Already my mind has gone left, come right, come left, come right, but we'll go for a short break. We'll be right back and continue discussion. Stay tuned.
Yo.
Go ahead.
The dollar team, seriously.
Welcome to the TIA's office. Come on in and let's embark on an exciting journey together. We're excited to develop the West African Sub-Region's agriculture sector with 3 key amazing services: the financial support, technical support, and offtake support. Join us as we showcase our diverse teams, share our values of network, and give you a sneak peek into the exciting projects we are working on.
My seat is hot, though I'm not the one in the middle. Charlie! Welcome back to the Algo Riches podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Boahen. We'll continue the discussion. A realtor and a farmer. Who will you give your 10 acres of land to? We are back from break and we will start taking comments. Please comment. We will discuss everything whilst we are here. So, continuing, we already have some comments. Let me read a few out, right? So, from Nanama Bibini C, she's there. She's saying, ordinary Ghanaian, a brosi camp and top plot. Massa, tell me why I should give you my 10 acres of land, Mr. Palmer. Bibini, take your time. Come on. Yeah.
So let me answer the first question. Why you should give your 10 acre of land to the farmer? Is that not it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you give your 10 acre of land, with land, it appreciates with time. Hope you understand. So for you not to be greedy or for you not to be in a haste to get your money right now, why don't you give yourself time? You give the land to a farmer, and with time, the price of the land will appreciate. So why don't you give it in? The returns you'll be getting will be accumulating with time, and you still have your property in your name.
Yeah,
I understand. And you're also creating employment for people. As you look at the number of people who work in the value chain of the farmers' activities, I understand. So giving your farmer giving your land to the farmer is not a selfish thing. You are benefiting, but at the end of the day, people will also benefit.
Yeah.
But your land still is still in your hands. You still have possession of the land. In the Volta region, people do it. They lease their land instead of selling it to a realtor. They will lease the land for farming activities, and with time, they will take their land back.
Okay.
Their land, maybe the land is at, let's say, Kwando, let's assume, or in Kuforidia, maybe the place may not be developed. So that time that the land is not developed, the place is not developed, let's use it for farming activities.
Okay.
When it develops, then you give it to, that is in the long run, and you consider my brother.
So if he's talking this way that, the land is at a remote area where not yet developed, yes, you can be using it for farming, because if you build it, who's going to stay there? For that one, I agree with him. But when the place is developed, you can't use it. Nobody would like to farm at East Legon now. Nobody. No matter the amount you make in the farm, nobody would like to farm at East Legon.
Are you sure?
Nobody.
Okay.
And then he says that the land appreciates. That is true. If a land is appreciating, then it also means that the building will appreciate. So when you building does not depreciate, it's always appreciating. That's the truth. Especially when you build something classic that is good with good material. But with farming, sometimes people, especially in Ghana where a lot of things are not really in place, no storage facilities, bad roads, let me forget about the road. Certain things are not in place. You can farm but the building, if I build with 1,000 cities today, and then nobody buys it, in 5 years' time, I spend just 1,000 cities. In 5 years' time, I can sell that house even more than 400% increase.
Okay, so let me correct him. I am not into real estate, but what I have learned and what I have read, building depreciates. There's a depreciation value for building
buildings.
with time. So let's assume that you put some things in place, and with time they will deteriorate. So you have to make provisions for them. So the depreciation part of the building, and secondly, he was saying with farmers' activities, how much was, I don't know if the listeners or the viewers out there, how much was a bag of maize last year? So you cannot say that you pay for the realtors. But you cannot say farmers, the activities depreciate with time. No, we are going forward, and prices are always teaching downwards. I understand. So even no matter what, let me say this here, let me just make it emphatically. So depreciate, no matter how they reduce or inflation reduces, prices will not come down. That's the gospel truth.
That's true.
I understand. So speak for the realtors and let me say.
No, but
let me take another comment from
Okay.
Kofi Ampon. I think it's buttresses the point you're making around now. He's saying that but to the real estate, this is the Dina lock you. Like you've locked from what I'm understanding, you've locked the land up after you finish building the house.
Yes.
And being a farmer gives you the opportunity to divert the land to a lot of things. That's who knows the kind of development that can come up later.
Yes, that is if the land is in a remote area. But if you build, that's why we talk about location when we started, where the land is. When it comes to real estate, what matters most is the location of the land, not just land. If the land is in a village, I myself will say, oh, let me farm on it. If it's in the village, where I know patronage of houses is not something. But if it's in the city, oh, come on. If you build and you think you've locked your land, no. If it's in the city and you build, there's no way you've locked down land. Because imagine you build in a store. You know, we are talking about, when we talk about real estate, it's not just building apartment for sleeping, stores and all those things. They are all building. So I build and I'm renting those stores out. You know the amount of money people are making in renting stores out. You make a lot of money. Like, you keep making money. And he talks about building being depreciated. Yes, but it takes a long while. It takes a very long time for a building to depreciate. But when you put in the right materials, I mean, I've visited buildings that were over, let me say, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. And they were very good. They were, the only thing we did was repainting and put one or two things in place. They were very good. You know, So the person will just do a little adjustment because of modernization. So when it comes to building, I think it is the best place. If you give me your 10 acres of land, that's a whole community. I mean, that is generational wealth creation.
Yeah. So for us not to be biased. So I think the location and this, that's why I'm saying that.
The location.
Personally, I'm also an ordinary Ghanaian. I'll not have a land at East Legon and I'll go and say I'm doing farming. I understand. But you know, so that is why we should be silent, or we should hold other variables constant. The location shouldn't be coming in. I understand.
Oh, if location is not coming in, then if you have a land in a very remote area, I can't go. No realtor will go and build houses. Okay. The only reason why a realtor will buy a land there is we believe that the city is moving to those places. So when you buy lands there, as I said, you can just do some hand on it and do farming. That one there, even a realtor like will do farming there, because you can't just keep the land wasting like that. So you can do that is what a lot of people do. A lot of realtors have lands in those places, but they are using it for farming. Okay. They are using it for farming. So where the land is the major thing. Yeah.
The Nama is also pointing out again that it seems like these days the realtors have turned to more like encroachers. Like, even arable land will be given out for building houses just because of there's going to be price for it.
Yeah.
Right. And we shouldn't also she's saying we shouldn't also forget modern technologies like greenhouses that even gives the opportunity for you to make a very reasonable farm within a city.
Yeah, greenhouse farm. I know someone that is into that. Yeah. They grow some nice, beautiful tomatoes. Yeah.
So isn't that something that I can also consider, even if my land is in the city?
No, but if you are talking about profit making, no.
You sure?
Oh no. How much can you?
Oh, because greenhouse also, if I understand from my greenhouse makes me allow me to really put in some exotic crops.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can grow a lot of things, but we are talking about profit making.
So our brother here, I don't know what he's thinking, but he's trying to look down on farmers.
No, not at all.
With the profit side, let me tell you something. Wait.
Farming is one aspect I want to go into.
Fine.
Okay. But that's why I keep talking about the location.
So the location really matters, but we have farms. When you go to we are in Ghana, but when you go to the developed countries, we have farms that you will never even know that it's a farm unless you enter the building. They are using technologies that they are making a lot of money. And with this farming thing, is the same applies. It's demand and supply analysis.
Yeah.
How do you understand? So if I'm doing greenhouse and assume tomatoes, at times one tomatoes even sells at 5 cities.
I tell
at times.
you.
I
Yeah.
understand.
To
So I
dry
assume that
season.
I'm doing, yes, it's dry season and people, demand is there. You know, people are buying and I have outright purchases. I understand. You shouldn't be saying that, oh, do I know that?
Okay. So I also built on the same building, and then the same land, and we shared it into two. Let's say one plot. I build a house and I give it out to renting every month. Let's say it's East Legon, every month 1,500. Okay, 1,500. That is how much I'm taking from the person. 1,500 a month, every month. Oh. Are you sure at the end of the month you can make 1,500?
So let me tell you something.
And
Let me tell you
continually for
just yesterday, this friend of mine, I go there. He's outside there, and I visited his farm. You know, the place for his birds, he rented a place. He pays 1,000 cedis a month. If the farmer is renting a place and paying 1,000 cedis a month, it means that he's making profits more than 1,000 cedis. Because like, no real business owner will go into something that will make losses.
Yeah.
I understand. So it means that he's making more than that money a month. So you are high and down 1,000 cedis.
I know.
I understand. So it means that he's making more than that. So there are farmers really making it. You see, there are farmers really making it, and they are making it. You see,
time.
I'm a farmer, and look,
yes,
let me tell you something. Let me
I know
tell
you will
The
make
greenhouse is
Let me-
a
yes,
guy.
the greenhouse.
farmers will, he's, you know, if like one plot,
Yeah.
and I'm just using one room more.
Okay.
If I should combine the number of rooms I'll build on that same one plot and rent it out in a month, come on, I'll make more.
Should I show you pictures? I have pictures with me. I'm saying that
You can put it in.
yesterday I went to the farm, which is at Pillar 2.
Plateau.
No, Obia I'm
Akoko.
1,000 cedis. A month. Oh. You should know that he's making more than that.
Yeah.
Even Pillar 2. Pillar 2, you are saying.
No, what I'm
Pillar
trying to
2,
say is-
1,000 a month.
what I'm trying to say
And it is small rooms. So.
Small
I don't
rooms.
know. I'll show you the
And
video.
if
I'll be very
the
interested.
same plot of land can take more than 4, 5, 3 bedrooms, and renting in the same Pillar 2, I don't know how much they are renting houses at Pillar 2, but if about 4, 3, 5 bedrooms at Pillar 2 and you are renting it, I'm sure the amount you'll be making every month will be more. And even the risks involved this poultry stuff, and when we compare the risks involved in building and then the risks in the I know a guy, he does poultry. One day Charlie, money in our movie, Charlie lost poultry.
That was true.
You know, before you hear that building collapse, I know it happens, but it's once in a while, unless people try to cut corners. But if you do the right thing, very right thing, buildings will not just collapse. Farming, sometimes you can do everything right, but then Charlie,
Time and chance.
So you see, as he's saying, I like
it can just rain heavily and or something, but with the building,
with natural occurrences,
Uh-huh.
when it comes to business, the Realtor, flood can take off the building, farming, this thing. But let me
if
talk, when we were talking-
land is taken off the
When we
building,
were talking-
then the farm is completely gone.
So when we're talking, yes, natural occurrences can happen, but then as you are saying that there are a lot of risks involved in the farming industry. Yes, I will not debate that. But as you said, you were saying something, if you do your things right,
Yeah.
you also see light. I understand. So
Yeah.
you shouldn't say that, okay, so there are risks in farm, but there are also risks with the building industry. Then if you want me to state some of the risks with this thing, these people, you can even go and buy a land which belongs to the state. At the end of the day, you'll be sleeping one day, they will tell you that, Charlie, move. You see cash. I understand. This land guard staffs in Accra, a lot of issues, I don't want to go into this.
It is
But
the
then
same way. It is the same way that you get a land from somebody. Here we are talking about someone 10 acres of land. It's the same way you can go and buy land to use for farming, and it's for someone. And when you start, they'll come in, and nobody will start a farm. You are not putting a structure on it.
More or less.
You want to do proper farming, you put a structure. Of course, you put your structure where you keep your tools and all those things.
Yeah.
So you're also building. Then the landowner comes. Those still break down those things.
Alright, so
But okay, Yaya too says that the problem about real estate is not really about what the profit of the land will bring, but the starting is always much more expensive, and it's not as versatile when it comes to farming. Okay, I think it makes sense to me a bit.
That it is capital intensive,
yes,
and then
also
you can't.
Yeah, also if the land has some conditions,
Yeah.
You can't build a land at a too salty land. You can't build a house at a too salty land. You can't build it when the place is mushy. You can't do it. So it's,
you see, all these things, they are things coming up, technologies, and Chado like this. I grew up around it. Chado was mushy area. Nobody wants to buy land there. But today, you see how they managed to push away the water, fill the place, and they are building on it. So, I mean, we are developing, and it's the same way. I don't know with farming. If the land is salt, is very salt. The land is very salty. I don't know what kind of farming would do. It's the same way. Land, when it comes to farming too, the condition of the land also matters. Yes, there are some lands, they are very porous. Am I using the farmer? they lack the most nutrients that you need. You have to turn it around and do a lot of things before it's the same way. And it's not I mean, if you want to build, the only time a lot of realtors will do a lot of land preparation and checking all those soil tests is when they are building something that is really huge. But a young man want to put up 4-bedroom house, hardly do they do soil test. Hardly, that's the truth. But unless you want to build something massive.
But don't you think that, especially for real estate, right? Somehow it's also locked. But looking at from my perspective,
the land is locked.
Not just the land, but kind of the income as the exponential growth farming can have in the future is not as pronounced as for real estate, don't you think?
If I'm getting your point right, so after building,
so
it's locked. You can't.
So I've built a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
And I've taken each one of them a year. Say, I'm 12,000 a year and advance of 4 years, right?
Yeah.
I've got huge chunks of money at that time to do anything I want. But farming starts a bit slow, right? You start, especially if you're not that familiar with it, you start small. But in 4 years, I don't know if my facts are right, Mr. Ato. Don't you think by then, is it possible for me to be reaping more benefits by 4 years?
In 4 years time too, the 12,000 you are taking a year, you not take the same.
You will increase.
You increase.
Okay,
the building, my church, they've increased the rent. In fact, everywhere you see, in fact, some landlords are even increasing the rent every year. Some can move from 1,500 to 3,000.
So can I come in?
Yes, please.
So look at let's take a commodity in Ghana here. Ghana exports of cocoa. And look at the magnitude of change that has happened to the price of cocoa, and compare it to the change in the most expensive house in Ghana.
The change happened just recently.
No.
And I heard it took some. I was following the news. It took some time before they increased, and the cocoa farmers were jubilating because if it were to be something that happens every year, I don't think they'll be jubilating like that. But this time, they're all over the social media. They've increased, and
because it was significant. The change was significant. That was why they were jubilating. So with time, as you are saying, with farming, the problem in Ghana is that at times we do matter makwe. Let me try and see it. We don't talk to the right people before we start our farm. As a young person starting a farm, you need to learn. You need to talk to people. You need to involve people. Do a feasibility study. You ask questions. Why do I need to do it? Why? If you don't ask questions, it happened to me. I invested a lot of money when I was starting my poultry farm. Even though I was having some experience, but I needed to. I was doing cockroaches, I was doing broilers, but I needed to ask questions. I've never done layers before. But I pumped about 70,000 into the layers thing, and in a small period of time, it collapsed. I learned a lot from that. So for me, I'm still on my point that Charlie, the farmer has the land. He has a comparative advantage compared to what the author.
The land is the farmer has
It's only because that is why it's all boils down to the location, my brother. Yes.
Okay, I think
Yes.
I have to call this meeting again.
It's
much
it's
more
it's
specifics.
Yes.
Much more specifics.
Location.
No
If you give
worries.
us a location, like somewhere very remote area, I mean, I also do poultry farming there.
Okay.
But if the city comes there, I'll do poultry. I'll build and sell. I'll build and rent, cause I'll make more money. I'll make a lot of money.
So before we end, or before we go for it, let me just put in this story. So do you know the Netflix farm? Netflix farm. He was a banker, and then the place he is not Mr. Kamasa. He's a friend. So the place he is not even up to 10 acres. He employs 96 people. The 10 acres, which 10-acre place of land will employ Realtor will employ 96 people. Which Realtor in Ghana right now employs 96 people just in the 10
what I'm
Fine.
saying is,
let me finish. Let me make my and the money he makes.
Yeah.
You know, the money he makes, he exports to Italy, Germany, then other stuff. He fly. When you see the man, he's just simple. But if he tells, or when he tells you what he
The
makes,
money's passing
that
through
he
the
makes,
pocket.
you'll be
Yeah,
surprised. So,
okay.
so you shouldn't look at it like, oh, child. If you are, even if it's at the right place and you are using the right, he does greenhouse. You know, Created Africa uses technology. They use AI to monitor their farm and stuff. If they tell you what Dr. Kester, I don't know if you've heard of him, it's at GTUC, what they are making and stuff. It's a lot. I understand. So this argument it's very
Malami,
strong.
if I want to compare people, the gurus in the Realtor,
Yeah,
Jack,
it's going to be too much.
It's
But
Jack.
I'll
They
tell-
are
I'll tell you
living
some-
big.
I'll tell you.
They
Like
are living
viewers,
big.
it seems that this has to continue again sometime. Really, my mind has I'm not yet made my decision. Even my head aches. This is very crucial. Oh, paying for very crucial. I will come back again. Thank you for joining me on this show. It's Agro Riches Podcast and Jeffrey. Peace out. We meet again sometime. Bye.